Although I was excited when I was going to Canada, but when I arrived, I actually wanted to go back to my country because seeing the look on my parents' faces, they were so scared and confused. And you look at the outside of your window and it's all different and it's so foreign. It's so, you're so unused to all this that you really want to go back to your country.
It was a mixed feeling. I was excited, happy, scared.
I felt good because I was coming to America. When I got here, you know, none of the things that I heard back home when I got here was the same.
Leaving Pakistan was like, you know, it's kind of leaving a big part of you behind. So it was coming from kind of a small city to a big new country and a big new city and new people, like, and never, like, you know, all those different cultures. We never had any of those things up in there. Like in my school, they were only all Pakistani girls, the same dress, same clothing, everything. You know, even the same languages.
At first, when I heard that I'm coming to Canada, I got so excited and I was so happy.
Frankly speaking, I felt terrible.
Oh man, I just wanted to leave my country so bad. I wanted to come here because of the snow.
I didn't really want to leave my home, but it was like a new place, you know. I'd never traveled that far. It was kind of interesting, but again, I knew I was leaving for good. So I didn't really want to leave my friends, everybody I grew up with, my school, and well, just didn't really want to go too much, but I had no choice. I had to come with my parents.
It was exciting, right? I mean, it's a new place, a new world. It's like so emotional that time, and you just leave your relatives behind, and because they start crying, and then you feel sad too, you know. So you can't just leave them, but you know, it's life. We have to move on.
The only thing that it's difficult and it's still hard for me is that my parents are not here. I remember that when I used to go home, my mother was there. And now when I go home, nobody's there.
Most of the students, they have better life, you know, they have their parents here. They don't have to worry about food, about paying the rent. They just worry about school. Me, I'm in the classroom thinking about, yo, what I'm gonna eat.
When you grow up, you get used to that your parents do all the business for you, they talk for you. When I came here, it was the opposite. I had to always go with my parents to if there's appointments. I had to speak for them or translate.
Of course, it wasn't only different for me, but also for my parents. They were just simply in shock because my dad didn't know English, my mom knew a little bit of English, but the whole issue with job and opportunities in Canada, as their child, I wanted to do better so that, I don't know, to make them feel better about this experience.
I remember the first day when I came to school and I couldn't find my locker because all the lockers looked the same.
I used to go to class late all the time for that because I don't know where my locker is. But to make it easy, I had to put a sign.
First class I was asked to write my last name and I wasn't able because I didn't know how to spell it.
Like I had to walk with the paper and follow. So then I just look at the number and then go in. Some teachers say, okay, it's your first day, but they gave me a week.
But first time I knew one staircase and I would go up by that and I would come down by that, although it was a longer way. But I just knew one staircase and I thought if I go through any other staircase, I'm lost.
In our country, like, we have to stay in the class for whole day. Teacher will turn around, so we don't have to do much.
But over here, after each one class, we have to find our class.
It was unusual for me, like you have to deal with guys sitting beside you, talking with you. You know, of course, they thought of me as any other girl, and they were expecting me to be casual and, you know, talk the same way like any other girl would answer their questions and everything. And I would be like, why is he talking to me?
First of all, I didn't know how to speak English. So, like, I see a girl walking around, I wasn't able to go there to talk to her. No English, no nothing. So I was just there sitting in class, listen to what the teacher say, understand some words, other not. So that was my life, come and go alone by myself looking for my classes, because nobody showed me anything.
Looking into eyes and smiling when they're scolded, it was not a bad thing. Like, it's like respecting them, right? But over here, if you smile, it's like, what do you call that? It's like, it's a bad manner.
When I came here first, my English was very, very bad, so everybody can't understand my opinion and my thinking, so I just felt alone.
When you speak, you know, have those students, they try to make fun, you know. They forget that you didn't grow up here, that you have your other language.
I was already older than any other students, and then they noticed I'm older than they are, so they are kind of making fun.
My first weeks in the school were so difficult because I didn't understand. But even when it was difficult, some teachers made it easy for me.
I think for a teacher, it's challenging and it's also very exciting because just as the student and their parents have to learn a lot about their new environment, the teacher has to learn about what the student and his or her family brings to the learning environment. And that has the potential to be a very exciting and a great learning experience for everybody involved.
We usually sit in one classroom, and then teachers came in, and then they gave lessons, and there was almost no group work at all. But here there was all about group work, and they all about presentations.
I have just remember without understanding, and I can't say opinions. But in Canada, they think that the most important thing is process.
When I first was going into the drama class, I was sitting there, what am I doing here? It's a waste of time, let me out. And then once I was starting to get into it, I started having fun. I never thought that in my life I'm gonna participate in a play.
When I first came here, I thought that people here are so free. I mean, they can wear anything, they can do anything.
Well, the rules back home were very strict. I mean, you couldn't even, when the teacher comes to class, you can't even get up from the chair, you know. I mean, you have to get up first and say good morning, and then you sit down and you don't move until the teacher goes.
I used to go to school back home, so the same rule I followed there, which is not disrespecting the teacher. Always go to your class, the teacher asks you something, you have to answer. You should respect others to be respected.
We may have rules and ways that we behave that are different from other countries and other societies. And it would take a while to get used to what is expected and what is not allowed. And part of the job that the school has is to make sure that everybody understands what those rules are.
Once I had a spare time and I was sitting in the cafeteria alone, and I had an orange with me and I wanted to eat it. So I took up my peeling knife, and once one of our teacher was passing by the cafeteria and told me, "Oh my God, what do you have in your hand?" And she told me that you have to be suspended, and I said, what are you talking about? Actually, at the first, I didn't know the meaning of suspend because we don't have suspend in our country.
In Korea, when the French and French fight, the teacher just say, don't do that, and that's bad, that's all. But in Canada, they think that's a very serious problem. When I came here first, I didn't know that, so I surprised they call the principals. What the hell is that, you know? And they give me a suspension. I surprised about that. So.
It's very important for a student to report something like that when it is happening at the very beginning. As it happens, when they start feeling uncomfortable around someone, we want them to report that.
I was sitting at my desk, some guy just slapped me, and I went to fight him back. And then we both got suspended. And this the one who slapped me first. He's the one that should be suspended. When I got the office, they explained to me, if somebody slap you, come to us and tell us. When I have a problem, I go there, even though they don't solve it, but I just go there just to let them know.
When you find out about a fight, when you get to the root of it, generally it started with name-calling, students harassing each other or bullying each other, and it just escalates from there.
Well, in the first year when coming from Lithuania, and it's like it's used to there if somebody tells you off or tells you something wrong, you just don't walk away or just don't say anything. You're gonna start a fight. And in my first year was kind of hard for me not to get into a fight. And here in Canada, it's something that really emphasizes in high schools, that fighting and any kind of violence is really looked back, it's really frowned upon, and there's a lot of trouble you can get into.
From my country, we did have a sort of a code of behavior, though it wasn't really written, but you sort of knew what was expected of you, but you didn't really know what the consequences were. Here, it's sort of for every single violation you might make, there's a certain consequence that follows.
Most of the students don't feel comfortable in asking for help. They think it's not exactly cool, or you are not exactly a brave person if you're asking for help. It means you're a weak person and you can't handle your problems that you're asking for help.
Here in Canada, there are many supportive teachers and also counselors and ESL teachers. They're the ones who really understand your problems, and in many cases they're also immigrants, so they sort of have an idea of what you're going through.
There are so many resources like inside the school, outside the school, that you will find that they'll be ready to help you. Teachers are always there to help you.
I can't really help you right now, but after the school, certainly I will take a look at this.
3 o'clock today in the library. Please be prompt, as it should only take a few minutes.
During the announcement, try to pay good attention. If you don't understand, always ask the person beside your classmate, or try to go in the office and ask.
I think the most important thing to do is, upon your arrival, go to a guidance office as soon as you can and find out how the system here works. Because for a lot of cultures, the change of the system is dramatic. And if you don't understand right away, the consequences might come when you're graduating, and you don't want that.
Try to be active. That's, I think, the most important thing in your life.
We encourage all students to take part in extracurricular activities, but particularly the newcomers, because it's a really good way of them fitting in and feeling part of the school.
If you are involved into different clubs and sport teams, of course you improve your English, but you also definitely become a more confident person. You improve your communication skills in general. You sort of learn how to interact with people better, and well, obviously you get more friends, and I think you get a lot more respect from people.
I didn't volunteer as much in grades 9 to 11. I only picked up majorly now. And it limits me in the opportunities that I have now, applying to universities, getting scholarships, or even getting new jobs.
Try to talk to the teacher. Try to ask the teacher, what can you do? Like, you're new in the country and you don't know. Sometimes you are home alone. You want to know if there's a program that you can attend to know people. Try to, don't just stay in one spot. Try to communicate. And don't expect too much. You think you're coming from back home thinking that when you get here, things will be easy. At the beginning, won't be easy, but after a while, it'll be easy. After maybe a month or a year.
Just be strong, you know, be yourself. You know, sit in classroom quiet, trying to learn, get some knowledge, and don't try to get yourself into too many trouble, you know.
They have to be more open, they have to be friendly, and they have to speak.
Well, most importantly is to know the language. It's really important. If you don't know the language, you can't really do well in high school.
You shouldn't forget your own roots and cultures, right? Because that's your background. That's what made you a person. That's what made you who you are today, right? So if you forget those, then you just become fake, right? You just become like somebody else wants you to be.
And another thing, make a lot of friends. The more friends you have, the better the experience is going to be, the easier. High school is about fun, mostly, up until grade 12.